Ever wonder what a large family actually eats in a week? Between homeschool activities, birthdays, and regular life, meals around here have to be pretty practical. This week, we had a birthday celebration, martial arts practice, a Grand Prix race day breakfast, and a homeschool lesson about ancient China. So today, I'm sharing what our family of 10 ate this week, and I'll also show you how I make three of our favorite big family meals: chicken and rice casserole, fried rice, and homemade biscuits and gravy. Welcome to the Mama Simply channel. If you're new here, I'm Amber, and I share what my life is like as a mom of 8 kids. So for lunch today, I fixed BLTs, bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches. I have plenty of bacon from our Troyer's haul, and I showed you that in our last video from last week. And my husband likes his BLTs with mayonnaise and peanut butter. It's kind of an odd combination. So share in the comments with me, what is your favorite toppings or condiments to have with BLT sandwiches? I'd love to hear. And for our Sunday dinner, I fixed a rotisserie chicken with all the sides, green beans, diced peaches, kale, and I also made some sliced fried potatoes. Really super simple, easy, and very quick to feed a big, busy family. Food disappears really fast when there are this many kids around the table. And then Monday was my now 3-year-old's birthday, and she requested chicken nuggets and french fries. And my oldest got Ellie her own Happy Meal. So she was really, really excited about that. Then for Monday dinner, we had sloppy joes, baked beans. Everybody wanted more peaches, and then I also had green beans on hand. So this was a really quick, easy dinner, super fast to make, and everybody really enjoyed it. We celebrate birthdays in our family with the birthday person getting to pick what they want for dinner. So that was really special. And then my son also was awarded the Billy Mitchell Award in Civil Air Patrol, which is a really big achievement. And then we finished the night off with cake and ice cream to celebrate Ellie's 3rd birthday. On Tuesday, I fixed chicken and rice casserole. This is one of our favorite family meals when feeding a crowd, and I'm going to show you exactly how I make it. So I have everything's going to go in the pot, and I have the cheddar cheese that's going to go in there. Rice is going to go in there. And then I also have some buffalo style cream of chicken soup I had in the pantry. I got that from Bargain Lane. It was only $1. We'll give it a try, see how it tastes. And then I'm also going to add in a can of cream of mushroom soup. And with that, I also am going to combine all of those together to make our base. And then I have 2 cans of bone-in chicken, a can of chicken broth, and then I also have these broccoli florets that I got from Costco in our last grocery haul. And so I'm going to add that in as well. So this is going to be an all-in-one casserole. And we have a busy evening. The kids have martial arts, so I need a quick and easy meal that I'm just going to throw together, and I'm going to walk you through how I make. I have my oven already set at 350 degrees, and then I'm going to mix together 2 cups of rice and the cream of soup mixtures, and I'm just going to mix this all together right in the pan. Then I add in my chicken, and again, you just add this into the pan. You could use chicken breast, you could use really whatever kind of chicken you want. The broccoli florets, I'm also going to add those straight into the pan, and these will thaw as well as go ahead and cook while they're in there. And then the liquid that they give off will also help with the rice too. So I'm going to factor that in with the ingredients. And then I add in my cheese, and I'm going to add in a can of the chicken broth. I'm just going to season this with some salt and pepper and a little bit of onion powder too. So I have my broth, I have everything in the pan mixed up, and then I covered it with cheese and let that brown. I served this with just plums, any kind of fruit that you want, and then a side salad. So this was a quick and easy meal all in one and just super easy. On Wednesday, I served ravioli with spaghetti sauce, and then I served mixed vegetables on the side. This was really easy. Just cook up the ravioli, top it with, I used ragu and Italian seasoning, Parmesan cheese, and the vegetables were just butter with Parmesan cheese. Thursday was really busy and I forgot to film dinner. I made a quick taco beef skillet, just super easy, and we had trail life that night. So we were pretty busy, but it was a gorgeous evening. Thursday, I made shrimp fried rice, and I'm going to tell you how I made this. I chopped up some onion, garlic, as well as some fresh ginger, and I added in some carrots. I sliced up a Napa cabbage, and all of that just goes into the pot with a little bit of oil. I used olive oil, and then I finished it off with sesame oil. So once your vegetables are tender, just throw in your cabbage. You could also use mushrooms, bamboo shoots. You could really get creative with this. I just kept this kind of simple just for ease of making dinner. And while my vegetables are softening up, I'm going to scramble some eggs, and my shrimp are in the sink thawing out as we speak. So I'm going to get these all scrambled up here. And part of why I chose this particular meal was we are talking about ancient China in our homeschool this week. Here's my shrimp. Those are ready to go into the saute pan. And with ancient China, we've just been talking about their culture, from their food and their history and some of their major achievements. And so that's been really interesting, talking about those countries and the geography. So I also got the kids some seaweed snacks this week. So that was really fun. And so just really kind of trying to make it interesting and unique. So my rice is finished cooking in the rice cooker, and I'm going to add this into my saute pan here. Get all this into the pan, and then I'm going to add in my vegetables, and I'm going to add the sesame seed oil and the soy sauce to give this flavor. And you could add in more seasoning if you wanted. You could add in peppers. There's a number of ways that you could make this kind of sweet. If you wanted to add in hoisin sauce, you could add in oyster sauce or fish sauce. There's really a lot of variety. I kept this really pretty basic, just for our family, because some people have preferences, but I do serve the sauces on the side. And so this is the finished um, stir fry. And then with that, I'm also going to serve kimchi, and I'm also serving the egg rolls that I showed you that I got from Costco last week in our last video. And those were actually really good. I would get those again. There were 50 of them in a pack, and they also had their own sauce. And I just cooked those up in the air fryer. So here is the kimchi that I found at the store, and Ellie is already sampling it, and she is my one who likes kind of the more sour type foods. But this was a really really tasty meal. We enjoyed it and there were no leftovers. So highly recommend. Saturday morning was the boys' Grand Prix race day, which meant a big breakfast. I am fixing sausage and gravy with biscuits to serve to at least 100 people for the race day. So I have my sausage browned. I'm just adding in some salt and some pepper, and you never know what you're going to find in the cabinet because there's the soy sauce, and then there's just this random cup in here. Don't know how that ended up in there, but here's the pepper. So just going to give that a sprinkle, and then I'm also adding in a little bit of onion powder too. And so once I have that, just going to give that a stir. I add in my flour, and I never really measure anything. So I'm just going to give this a stir, and then once that is all coated on the sausage and has soaked up all of that oil, then I'm going to add in my milk and then just let that cook until it's nice and creamy and thickens up. It already smells amazing. And here are the biscuits. Those are fresh from the oven. They're nice and hot. And I'm going to put them in this roaster. We have to transport them, so the roaster is really the best way to transport them. So hopefully they'll stay pretty warm. And then I have one crock pot over there, and then here's my second crock pot with the gravy, sausage and gravy to go on the biscuits. And the sausage was from our Troyer's haul, and so were the biscuits. So don't miss that video from last week. And here are the boys showing off their cars. We didn't win, but there's always next year. So we had a great time. And that was everything our family ate this week. If you're wondering how a family this big eats on a $1,500 grocery budget, that's exactly what I'm sharing in the next video next Sunday. So join us. Life with a big family is busy, sometimes chaotic, but always full. If you enjoy seeing large family meals and real life family moments, make sure to subscribe and hit that little bell. And don't forget to share with me in the comments what is your favorite condiments to have with BLTs. Thanks for spending the week with us, and I'll see you in our next video.